The bear, nostrils flaring, lunged at Lorna without hesitation, taking the fragile woman to the ground and began tearing into her flesh. She screamed in terror, but fought viciously, digging her nails into the bear hide and ripping out cusps of fur and blood. The bear snapped at her hand, giving one final bellow. What's up, guys? Iceman here. So this story is about a young woman who was attacked by a bear in 2014. But before I get into it, I'd like to thank you guys for all your support on this channel, as it has been growing exponentially. So if you will, like the video, subscribe to the page, and hit the bell so you're notified next time I post a video. And if you want to support me further, you can become a channel member or a patron. Links in the description below. So let's get into this bear of a story. In 2014, Lorna Weaver, a 36-year-old female from Dublin, Ireland, embarked on a hiking trip in the remote wilderness of Canada's Yukon Territory. She had always been an avid hiker and had completed several challenging hikes in the past, but this trip would prove to be the most challenging of all. Lorna was an experienced hiker and had prepared extensively for the trip. She had packed all the necessary gear and supplies and had spent months researching the area she was going to visit. She knew that the Yukon was home to several species of wildlife, including bears, and had taken all the necessary precautions to avoid any potentially dangerous encounters. Lorna set out on her hike early in the morning, excited to explore the rugged terrain of the Yukon. She followed a well-marked trail that wound through the dense forest, occasionally stopping to take in the breathtaking scenery. She encountered several other hikers along the way and even made a few new friends. After a few hours of hiking, Lorna decided to take a break and have a snack. She found a small clearing near a stream and sat down to rest. She had just finished having something to eat when she heard a rustling in the bushes nearby. Lorna froze, unsure of what to do. She knew that the Yukon was home to several species of wildlife, including bears, and had read extensively about what to do in the event of a bear encounter. She slowly reached for the bear spray she had brought with her and prepared to use if necessary. Suddenly, a large, hideous black bear burst out of the bushes, charging straight at Lorna. She had no time to react and was knocked to the ground with tremendous force. The bear began to maul her, biting and clawing at her arms and legs. Lorna knew she had to fight back if she wanted to survive. She desperately tried to fend off the bear with her hands and feet, but it was no use. The bear was too powerful, and Lorna knew that she would not be able to escape on her own. In a moment of desperation, Lorna reached for the bear spray and sprayed it directly into the bear's face. The bear recoiled in pain, giving Lorna a momentary reprieve. She quickly scrambled to her feet and began to run in the opposite direction, hoping to escape. However, the bear was not deterred. It pursued Lorna relentlessly, chasing her through the forest. Lorna knew that she would not outrun the bear and realized that her only hope was to find a place to hide. She spotted a nearby tree and quickly climbed up it, using all her strength to pull herself up the trunk. She reached a branch high above the ground and huddled there, clinging on for dear life as the bear circled below. For several hours, Lorna remained in the tree, too scared to move. She could hear the bear growling and snarling below, and she knew that it was only a matter of time before it would come after her again. And even more concerning was it was getting dark, and Lorna was bleeding profusely, suffering several gaping wounds, which for her, at this point, was most likely quite dizzying. The sun was beginning to set, and Lorna knew that she had to make a decision. She could either stay in the tree all night and hope that the bear would eventually give up and leave, or she could attempt to climb down and make a run for it. Lorna decided to take her chances and climb down from the tree. She carefully lowered herself to the ground, thighs scraped and bruised, blood covering one of her eyes. She was desperate and afraid, hoping to find help before the bear caught up with her. She ran and ran as far as she could, but not long after, the bear tackled her from behind, taking her to the ground once again. It began tearing into her, this time more ferociously than the last. She fought and screamed and thrashed her arms, but to no avail. A few onlookers saw the attack and came running to her aid, as she wasn't far from a lodge. None of the onlookers had bear spray, but one ran into the lodge and grabbed the fire extinguisher. They sprayed the bear, and it ran off. Lorna's body lay there in ruin, but the bear would come back and bluff charge those who were trying to defend the body. The onlookers were forced to retreat in hopes of finding aid, but the bear viciously tore into Lorna, and it was too late for anything to be done. Apparently, according to some of the onlookers, the attack lasted about an hour. Before taking on this adventure, Lorna had been talking about going back to study and become a psychologist because she loved helping people. It was a great loss to her family and the world. The bear was, for whatever reason, determined to hunt and eat Lorna. Authorities shot and killed an adult black bear that was spotted nearby as soon as they arrived, and investigators closed off a 200 square meter area around the site of the attack and set up several live bear traps in the vicinity. But after speaking with witnesses and conducting a DNA analysis, it was confirmed that the bear that was shot and killed was the one that killed Lorna. A second bear was trapped, but later released. Her family mourned the loss greatly, but thanked all the witnesses who attempted to save their daughter. Jeez, what do you guys think about that situation? I can't believe it that once again it was a young woman out in the woods and she got attacked by a bear, and this time it was a black bear. The black bear must have saw that she was just not very large of a target. Maybe for whatever reason it sensed her vulnerabilities and it took advantage of that. That's the thing about black bears, is they're very opportunistic, and it seems to me that in this case it certainly saw the young woman as prey. And I don't know what else you can blame on this attack outside of the bear just finding opportunity and taking advantage of it. How crazy is it that this girl fought as hard as she did, getting bear hair in her fingernails and all that, and climbing up the tree to escape it? I wonder what would have happened if she just stayed up in the tree, if the bear would have climbed up after her and just pulled her down or something. But damn, I'm just shocked by this, and I'm sorry to share it with you guys, but I mean, this stuff is very perspective gaining, I think, to listen to and to read and all that. Makes me want to be more aware of my surroundings and appreciate every day and not take for granted anything in life. But what do you guys think about this story? What do you think could have been done differently? And have you ever been in black bear territory? Let me know in the comments below, and like this video if you haven't yet for more chilling tales from the Iceman.